Wilson Golf, sleeping giant or relic and has been. Today I'm going to talk to you about their new Wilson carbon range in the fairway wood and the Dynapower hybrid here. Huge company, great heritage, great history, but can they actually still put out product that is relevant in today's market? Let's hit some shots, let's get into it. Felt absolutely fantastic off the face, have to say. So today, Wilson Golf, Chicago-based sports giants. I'm looking at their Dynapower range here, and you'll see from a previous review that I did, I hit their driver recently, I hit the Max model, I've also hit the carbon model before when I was comparing actually the previous sort of 23 model versus the 25 model. And I have to say, I've been really impressed with their releases so far. I think the drivers have been really nicely put together and the numbers on them were great actually, as good as anything else on the market in my opinion. And I'm really interested to hit this today. I think from what I've seen and when I've put this down by the golf ball, it looks absolutely fantastic. Haven't had an opportunity to really hit it and get into the numbers yet. So today is going to be exciting for me as well. But this carbon range, I think they've really nailed it in terms of the visuals of it and the looks. Obviously carbon fiber at the moment is the main product that a lot of the big manufacturers are using. TaylorMade obviously using a huge amount of it. They're using it in the face, the crown, the sole. Callaway have been using it for a long time now as well. Titleist have almost gone off on a different tangent and they've created their own material that they can use on their crown there as well. And then Ping are starting to use more carbon fiber in terms of that fly wrap at the back of their drivers. So they're using the materials and all the latest materials that all the top manufacturers are using, but haven't heard anybody necessarily crying from the rooftops about how this is the best product in the market this year as of yet. And is that just because the name is sort of holding it back, or is it because it just actually just doesn't meet up to the hype and it doesn't compete? But let's have a little look at the fairway wood today. They've got a couple of different heads. They do have a max style head here as well, which will be maximum forgiveness. That'll be for the player who really struggles to get the ball up off the air and airborne. The Dynapower carbon for me strikes me as the lower spin model, certainly just based on the characteristics of it, in terms of the description of it. You've got carbon fiber on the crown here, and that looks absolutely fantastic, I have to say. A little bit of a red accent here with the Dynapower. Dynapower is a part of the company they've had out several times now as well, and they keep on bringing it back. And it's cool, you know, the silver and the red colorway on here. It has plenty of bag appeal, and it would definitely looks classy in terms of that position that you would see it on the shop floor. They've got a big 30-gram weight at the front here, and what that will basically do is that's dragging a lot of center of gravity forward, so that will make this particular fairway wood lower spinning. By dropping it low and forwards as well, it will help with popping that launch up as well. So it's going to be a higher launch, lower spin model, definitely. And also a bit like what Callaway did by dropping that weight right at the front here as well. They're trying to get more mass underneath the golf ball effectively. So they're trying to help strikes lower on the face as well. And they're trying to retain some ball speed and make sure that they can get that center of gravity in a position where it's still going to allow for some ball speed when you get the ball low off the face, which is something that players typically do when the ball is off the deck with a fairway wood. So, but let's hit some shots with it. First time I've hit it as well, so I'll be interested to see how it performs. Visual down by the golf ball, for me, it looks as good as anything in the market right now. As you may have seen, I've done a video on my current fairway wood setup, which is about 5 years old now, which is the TaylorMade Sim titanium models. And I think they're as good as anything else out in the market right now. And this head actually visually looks quite similar for me. Sits very square, definitely doesn't look like it sits shut, which is one of the things that I'm always looking for as a draw of the golf ball. If you're somebody where you slice the ball, then the Max model might be something that's a bit more appealing because it's a little bit more toed in from what I've seen. Shaft in here, they've got a Ventus TR. Looks like it's the colorways of the Ventus Blue. Don't be confused, it isn't an aftermarket version. It doesn't have the Velocore tip. It doesn't have the Velocore 2 either, so it's not the latest model. This will be based on the same sort of profile as the Ventus Blue, but it will just be slightly softer in its torque, which will be just how soft it feels in that sort of tip section there as well. But it's going to help players create a bit more launch because of that. This is the 6S, sorry. So it's a little bit lighter than what I would typically use. So I'm not going to go at these full ball. I'm just going to put some nice easy swings on just to see what sort of flight I can get out of it. But let's hit some shots. All right, guys, so hit some shots there with that. And yeah, it felt absolutely fantastic off the face, have to say, just as you'd expect from someone that's got quality components like carbon fiber in there as well. That gives it that slightly more muted acoustic, so it doesn't have that high tinny sound that you get from titanium. Hit a couple, just moving the strike across the face there as well, and launch definitely wasn't any problem. I wasn't sure with the big heavy 30-gram weight at the front here, whether that was going to sort of nosedive my spin, but the shaft offset it quite nicely. So if you're somebody who wants something that has a smaller profile and looks like it's going to be able to sort of knuckle the flight a little bit, or if it's just something that you prefer the look of generally, then I think the shaft and the head, they offset each other quite nicely. Shaft was a bit soft for me personally, so spin numbers were a little bit higher than what I typically want to see out of my particular fairway wood setup. But I think if I was to put my gamer into that particular head there, I could definitely use that. It looks great. Sits very square, nice sort of round, symmetrical sort of look to it. I mean, it almost looks like they've sort of, dare I say, hijacked the previous design from another company. It really does. It looks fantastic. No problems with the visuals, no problems with the feel, no problems with the quality of the materials being used there as well. Let me get on to the hybrid now, but certainly big tick from me in terms of the fairway wood there. That doesn't give any ground to the top boys from what I can see. Okay guys, so fairway wood I'd say was a success there, and worth mentioning that is fully adjustable as well, that Wilson fairway wood there. So you do have the adjustable loft sleeve on there if you wanted to loft up or loft down, which can also help you manipulate face angle, take launch off. It was a 15-degree head I was using there. The technologies that they use across their range is called the PKR, the 360 face, which is obviously, AI technology, a bit like the other companies in the market. They're trying to identify the depth of the face and sort of the shape of the face to try and give best ball speeds and toe area, heel area, low on the face. 455 steel, high strength steel, forged steel in the fairway wood there, and they use a 455 in the hybrid as well. So not adjustable in the hybrid. So the loft that you purchase is what you're going to get, and it's non-adjustable. So this is a 4 hybrid at 22 degrees. And this is one of their stock options again. This is the Denali 80 gram 6.0. So again, this is kind of in the right area of where I would be from a weight perspective. So this might suit me a little bit better than the lighter fairway wood shaft did, but not carbon fiber here. They don't have that sort of carbon fiber effect on the head here. They've just got like a plain black head, got the red accent at the back here with Dynapower. Looks very simple, has score lines on it, or grooves you could say in here, which do make it look like it pops a little bit with a bit more loft, which I think is one of those things in hybrids and fairway woods which is quite important. When people, what I used to find with higher handicap players especially, is if I gave them a fairway wood that didn't have any sort of white lines on the face at all, it didn't look like it would sit with a huge amount of loft, and sometimes they could lose confidence, and that would actually cause them to sort of hit up on the ball or try and help the ball up rather than actually allowing the loft to do the job for it. So I do think the score lines across the face are quite important, I have to say. And yeah, it looks like a great looking club, this one. Looks nice and compact. Head's not too big, doesn't look too draw biased. It'll be interesting to see with this particular one. Didn't find the fairway wood too draw biased, I have to say. But let's have a little look and hit of the hybrid. 22 degrees is in and around where I have my 4-iron. So this would be seen as a 4-iron replacement. But what we do know is because of the longer graphite shaft, it's probably going to go a little bit further than what my 4-iron typically would do. All right, so just hit a few there, and I have to say that felt absolutely fantastic, very solid. Really enjoyed how that one swung for me personally. Was looking for around 210 yards as being the yardage that I want that to carry, and that was absolutely spot on. Gave a nice high flight. One of my criticisms of modern day hybrids would have been they seem to be crashing the spin down now, so they're becoming increasingly more difficult to actually hit peak height with, but absolutely no problems with that there. Nice high flight on it, hit my yardage. Could even game that myself, I have to say. Again, everything finished slightly left of the line there, so it's very neutral weighting, I would say, as well. Didn't feel like it wanted to wander off to the right-hand side for me, so it's definitely not fade bias, but it didn't feel like it was overly draw biased either. So really nice product, have to say. Shaft felt great. I've hit the Denali, and as you've seen from other reviews that I've done, we've hit the Denali in several other products. It's become very popular now. Ping are using it in their products as well. So they've gone with a quality shaft in there for you guys as well. But very usable. And if it's somebody where you're using the rest of the Wilson range, whether it be in the irons or the fairway woods or the driver, that very much follows suit with where the rest of the product is. I'm not concerned over the adjustability element of it, because I think once you get fitted into the correct loft by your fitter, or once you identify where that gap is in the bag between fairway wood and your top iron, you're not going to really need to adjust it anyway once you've got it in. So 22 degrees, that would be the replacement for my sort of 4 iron if I needed something to gap there leading up to my 5 wood, which is I play in my set. So, but yeah, great, really nice product, have to say. Well done to Wilson. Guys, do you own any Wilson products? Let me know in the comments below. Have you hit the recent Dynapower range? I'd be really interested to know what you guys think of it as well. Have you had the same experience as I have? Really positive, think it's great. No reason why it shouldn't be getting thrown into the fitting bays and considered alongside your big boy names, your Pings, your TaylorMades, your Titleists. Really impressed with that sort of stuff, guys. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on Wilson as a brand as well. Is it something now where, is it holding you back from hitting their product and considering it, or does it not matter anymore? And if it performs and it hits your numbers, it's in the bag. Would really like to hear off you guys. As always, if you've enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as well so you get all our latest updates. And as always, happy golfing, and I'll see you on the next review.